All right, ladies and gentlemen, you remember that on the 26th of December, Israel recognized officially, they recognized Somaliland as a sovereign nation. Now, Somaliland is a country in East Africa, located at the Horn of Africa, okay, beside Ethiopia. So Israel decided, whatever be their reason, well, nobody can tell, but they decided to recognize them as a sovereign nation. But to my greatest surprise, I just read a press statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Nigeria, condemning that, condemning it, telling whosoever, any international actor or whatever, doing such that they are tampering with the unity of Somalia, they are doing this, they want to cause conflict and what have you. Nah, you know, that is why our people say that Ana Agwoni bi afoneto. Ana Agwoni bi afoneto. You see that man with that big hernia? You are trying to, you know, cure it, okay, operate on it, and the man's stomach will be growing bigger, bulging out. Then they also say that that the buyer that will buy that bingo, that small bingo, it will not allow it to perceive the odor of dongs, human dongs. Honestly. Because it seems as if our people, we don't even have anything to do with history. People that are empty-headed, leading us. Did you consult history before you did that? Before you did the press statement? Did you consult history? Now look at it. Somaliland, okay? During the colonial era, we had Somaliland, British Somaliland and French Somaliland. Then in 1960, they had their independence. In fact, Somaliland had theirs, I think, on the 26th of June, they had their independence. 5 days later, that was on the 1st of July, 5 days later, these two nations, okay, Somalia and Somaliland, decided voluntarily to come together and say, look, let us, you know, increase our territory, you know, and then form a union and call it Somalia. This is British Somaliland. This is French Somaliland. They now say, we will now go by the name Somalia is now a union. And they formed the union. Voluntarily, nobody forced them into it. Just voluntarily, they did it. But then, Somalia, being the southern part, began to, you know, marginalize the Somaliland, which is the part in the north. Began to marginalize them. There was marginalization against them, dictatorship. All the leaders coming, they are coming from the south, and dictatorship, dictating. To the extent that at the time they went to Somaliland and bombed the city there. Bombed the place that is supposed to be their capital. Bombed it. And that led to a conflict that led to the collapse of the union. The union failed. If it fails, is it not to your tent, O Israel? And so Somaliland decided to reassert their 1960 independence. They decided to reenact it. It is something that has been in existence. Mind you, when they got their independence, UK, US, they won't recognize them. They went into a union. It was good and fine. Now the union failed, just like USSR failed, and nations went their ways. And they are recognized today. These people, is it not? You know where you are coming from. And they had to go their way. From their government, they had their government. They had their constitution. They have their currency. They had their police. They have their army. They have been doing elections since then. That was in 1991. I think May 1991. That was when they now decided, okay, let's reenact since this union has failed. They had all these things. And began to do their elections peacefully, and people have been emerging and been serving and going. But you know what? African Union refused to recognize them. And they influenced United Nations not to recognize them. And so no nation recognized them. Do you know why? Not because they love Somalia, but because of their own selfish interest. The countries that have it upon their head not to recognize them. This is Nigeria. This is Ethiopia. This is Dr. Congo. The only country that is a medical doctor. Don't mind me, that's just a joke. DRC, DR Congo. You know, because there are agitations in these nations. Some nations want to break away. So they now feel that, for instance, Nigeria now, where Biafra had been agitating. So they now feel that if we recognize these people and say they can go, that means we are justifying these ones that are pushing for their own nature. So they refuse to do that. That is why Somaliland has been there without recognition. Go and check history now. Now, Israel decided to recognize them and became the first nation to do so. And a land that I think South Sudan had also followed suit. So instead of Nigeria to pipe low and then ignore that, they now decided to issue a press statement condemning that. Probably they are the first to do so. I don't know. I've not researched about that, but I just saw the press statement. Now look at the thing, ladies and gentlemen. You went to United Nations General Assembly. I mean, you voted that Palestine should become an independent nation. Oh, you want it to be an independent nation, right? These ones now, they are also saying we are recognizing these people so that they become an independent. You are becoming annoyed. Nah, I don't understand. Ima, like I said, if you don't know where the rain began to beat you, you wouldn't know where it will stop. That's what Chinachebe said. Are you getting the point? You will not know. Maybe these guys don't even know that it is because of that thing they did at the United Nations General Assembly, voting in favor of Palestine as influenced by France, that caused them this crisis we are in now. That is why, before you know it, the narrative of Christian genocide came up. And based on that, America came in and carried out an errand somewhere. It is not because of Christian genocide. It is because of that voting you people did there. In case you don't understand international diplomacy. Before now, Nigeria have maintained a neutral stance, not siding Israel, not siding with Palestine. They have been neutral. And you went there because France inflamed one small boy called Macron, small boy. Oh my God. You agreed, we are voting. And you refuse that when you are living in a glass house, you don't throw stone. Okay, France and all the rest of them, these are advanced nations. They are nuclear nations. If they vote, nothing will happen. You yourself, what do you have? You follow, we are voting. And you vote for the independence of Palestine. Yes, ever since that happened, our boat is being rocked. And being rocked. And it is changing the dynamics of everything. These people shouldn't know. Somaliland has been an independent nation. You marry somebody, the marriage didn't work. You go your way, the other person goes their way. And you say that you're not going to why would you recognize something that has already been recognized in 1960? And they we came together based on this recognition. USSR was there at the time they broke up. We got so many nations, Russia, Ukraine, and these other ones. They came out and became independent nations. Ukraine is recognized today. Would somebody say, no, we are not going to recognize Ukraine. No, we are not going to recognize Russia. They still recognize them. So why can't you recognize these ones? When that union has failed, it has failed. I came voluntarily to be in business with you. You came voluntarily. So you don't tell me that when the business collapses that I shouldn't go my way and start my own business. What do you mean? Had it been that no, you didn't, that maybe the people who colonized you put you together, it becomes a different issue. And that is why the case of Nigeria and Biafra is a different issue, because it is Britain that put them together. So it will be difficult for them to separate, as it were. But this was is that they voluntarily on their own came together. And so they can go at any time Are you getting the point? They can go at any time, especially when the union has failed. So that is just that. And Nigeria taking a very big, you are compounding your problem, so you are daring Israel. Be very careful. Be very, you don't have anything. No. Look at Lebanon, look at Iran, look at some other nations in the Middle East. Ask them their experiences with Israel. And what we can hope for there. Israel are carrying everywhere. And they keep on carrying. And you are daring them. Be careful. Be careful. Ekuchakwalam.